Okay. So yesterday we were studying about the cosmetics excipient. What are the excipients used in the cosmetic formulation? So first one we have completed about the surfactants and their classification we have studied and their application we have studied. The second one is the rheology modifiers. What do you mean by the rheology modifiers? So basically the rheology modifiers are the thickers that control the flow of agents, or you can say that are the additives which control the viscosity, flow, and maintain the structure stability of the liquid formulation. So basically rheology is the science or the study of how things flow, right? So in a personal care products, whatever the lotions or shampoo we are using, or whatever the creams we are using, so definitely that provide a proper viscous nature to that particular formulation. Okay, clear to everyone? So basically that's made the things thicker. उसको गाढ़ा बनाता है वो उसको, है ना, ताकि वो क्या है, बिल्कुल लिक्विड फ्लो भी ना हो. इट्स काइंड ऑफ सेमी लिक्विड फ्लूइड की जो क्या है जिसको हम अप्लाई करें और वो बॉडी में इजिली एब्जॉर्ब हो जाए. ठीक है. Now talking about the classification, the first one is the aqueous phase additives. So first one जो aqueous phase additive classification है, they are the thickers which are non-ionic polymers thickers which are designed for the personal care market. It consists of the urethane based and the polyether polyol based thickers with superior performance in a system containing the high salt level. So basically in the aqueous phase additives that contain the high salt level, you need to just learn about the basic simple things so that you can remember and you can easily write in the examination, or with the extreme in the pH. So why the pH is very mandatory for your body? Because every body has a certain pH level, according to that they can maintain its stability, right? Suppose our genital organ had a different pH, our body has a different pH, our stomach has a different pH. So every kind of a organ has a different pH. According to that they maintain their environment. It means they maintain the homeostasis. Everyone knows now what is homeostasis. Homeostasis means homeostasis means your body is trying to maintain its temperature according to the external factor, right? So the second one is the hectorite. It is the unique swelling clay with the several advantages. It has a lower iron contact, is lighter in the color and has higher swelling capacity, greater gel strength, plated shape, and has a large surface area. So hectocrit is able for a form a strong, stable, viscous gel. Basically, it is a kind of a gel formulation which is a unique swelling clay. Like when you apply, that has been swelled up after the application of proper formulation. जैसे कई चीज हम अप्लाई करते हैं ना, तो क्या होता है कि कई बार वो अच्छे से, जैसे मान लो कि तुमने ना एक प्रॉपर फेस मास्क अप्लाई किया, सपोज करो. So what happened after you are applying the face mask on your face, that particular things has been expanded. वो क्या है, उभर के आता है, that ejaculated whole the dust, whole the things pollution, in a short that will exfoliate your skin. So ये हेक्टोक्राइट की प्रॉपर्टी होती है, उसको क्या है, प्रॉपर वो स्वेल करके थिक करके अच्छे से सारे डस्ट वगैरह को, ये जितने भी आपके क्या है गंदगी होती है फेस की, उसको खींच के निकाल देता है. So this things has been added to your particular cosmetic agent, in several cosmetic agent. The third one is a bentonate hydrophilic clays. So these are all the types of a clays which you need to learn, because this will provide the certain thickness to your what cosmetics. In the rheology modifiers we are studying about this particular things. So ये सब आपके क्या है, प्रॉपर टाइप्स है कि कौन से एक्सिपिएंट हम किस चीज के अंदर ऐड कर रहे हैं. जनरली जो है हम रेयोलॉजी मॉडिफायर्स हम स्किन की फॉर्मुलेशन, जो क्रीम्स आती हैं, आपके फेस पैक्स आते हैं, इनमें ही हम क्या है एडिट करते हैं. ठीक है बेटा. हेलो.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ओके.
ma'am.
Yes,
द
ma'am.
सेकेंड वन इज अ
Yes,
नॉन
ma'am.
एक्वस फेस
Yes,
एडिटिव्स.
ma'am.
नॉन एक्वस फेस एडिटिव का मतलब क्या हो गया, जो क्या है आपका पानी के साथ नहीं घुलेंगे, और वो प्रॉपर क्या है आपका क्ले जो है वैसे ही थिकनेस प्रोवाइड कर देगा। अब देखो जैसे फेस मास्क और फेस वॉश है, उसको तो क्या है आपका प्रॉपर अच्छे से पानी के साथ सोल्यूबल होके प्रॉपर वो क्लीन कर देता है। बट देर आर द सर्टेन थिंग्स। अब देखो क्रीम अगर अप्लाई करोगे तो क्रीम क्या है, आप अप्लाई करने के बाद अगर पानी के साथ धोगे तो वो घुलेगी थोड़ा ना, उसके साथ सोल्यूबल थोड़ा ना है, राइट? सो इट इज नॉट सोल्यूबल विद द what water. So this would be a second time, which is a second type, which is a non-aqueous phase additives, which contain the benoate organophilic clays. So basically, it is a hectorite reacted with the special vegetables quaternary ammonium salt to produce the organoclays, which are able to thicken and the gel organic lipids. The correct choice of a bentonates additive is determined by the polarity of the system to be thickened. So basically their application are for the intermediate to the high polarity organic systems, esters, triglycerides for the nail lacquers, skincare, antiperspirant, and the lip product for the lipsticks, nail lacquer, you apply the nail polish and all these things. For the skincare, I have already mentioned creams, gels, face wash, face mask, antiperspirant, all the deodorants and the roll-ons, lip products, all the lipsticks, lip balms, and all these things. So the bentonite 38V is an intermediate to the low polarity organic system, which are volatile silicones and the minerals or for the antiperspirant, creams, lotions, eye products, and the satin products like suntan products. Creams, you know that. Lotion, you know. Eye products includes your eyeliners, kajals, and all these things. Suntan products that includes the UV several ray, UVA, UVB. We will gonna study in the different chapter. We have a separate chapter for this, and we will study about the different broad spectrum for the suntan. Okay. Now the Benton additives need to be efficiently disposed using the high shear equipments, and then it would be activated with the optimum level of a propylene carbonate. Like it's an ingredient which you will gonna see behind the any kind of a product label. Clear to everyone. So whenever you're using a product, basically to understand the basics of a cosmetic, what you need to see, you need to see whatever the product you are using now. So you just look behind that the ingredient label, what are the ingredients has been added to that particular formulation, so that definitely you will have an easy idea. You just see the formulation in the shampoo, that will have a different, like in the old shampoo the certain things are the similar, but the main ingredient might be differ, because that will target the proper property, that will target the proper condition, right? You will see the label in the shampoo. Second one, where you can see in the creams, whatever the creams you are using, or you are using any kind of a lotion, so you can also see these things in the lotion, right? So the second one is the Bentone gel. So these are the additives and are the optimally dispersed and the activated predisposant. These do not require the high shear dispersion and the polar activation. These are easy to handle and use, can be added at any appropriate and the convenient stage in the manufacture. So this kind of a things can be added in the any stage of a manufacturing till the product is in a batch, right? So a wide range of the gel made from the various cosmetics, oil, esters, solvents are available. The use of the Benton gels and enables to achieve the maximum efficacy from the organoclay without the need to be careful the shearing and the activation. And the third one is a Thixikin or rheological additive. It is a product to use for the highest degree of the thixotrophy in aliphatic lifting, in addition to its effective rheology properties and give water repellent, stabilizing emulsion and act as a staining agent in lipstick and ointments. Right? As I already told you, whenever you are applying any kind of a ointment, suppose you are applying an ointment of move, which has an anti-inflammatory property, right? So it will not supposed to immerse or soluble with the water, and it will not let water inside where you have applied the particular ointment. Similarly in the lipstick, what happens, lipstick are the water repellent, they are not able to, like you have seen the non-transfer lipstick now, whenever you are drinking in water or anything, coffee or anything, that has not be transferred with the water. So it is kind of a water transport. It means they are repelling the water. They are not letting the water to ruin the proper application. So these things are used in the lipstick and the ointments. Okay. So there are the several temperature control range, which is the 55 to 60, which is in the castor oil area derivative. The second one is the high sharing mixing, which is the 130 to 140 degree Fahrenheit. Now the application are the in the stick products, basically in the lipstick and the antiperspirants we are using to
मैम कोई
increase the.
बार बार रिमूव कर रहा है.
बेटा देखो ऐसी हरकतें मत करो तुम. रिमूव क्यों कर रहे हो एक दूसरे को? तुम्हें सबको पढ़ना नहीं है क्या? क्या बदतमीजी कर रहे हो?
मैम तीन बार मीटिंग मैंने ज्वाइन की, 3 बार रिमूव किया है लोगों ने.
डोंट डू दिस. मैं यहाँ से सबको हटा दूंगी. फिर मैंने सिर्फ इस वजह से कर रखा है ताकि सब बच्चे आराम से इन हो जाए. बदतमीजी कर रहे हो, तुम्हें अकल नहीं है क्या? और ये मत समझो मुझे पता नहीं लगता है. फिर मैं ना उस बच्चे को सीधा बता दिया, उसको ब्लॉक ही कर दूंगी. मीटिंग में इन ही नहीं करूंगी. डोंट मेक मी फोर्स टू टेक दिस काइंड ऑफ एक्शन. माइंड योर ओन बिजनेस एंड स्टडी ओनली. The application was the rheology modifiers, which are used in the lipstick and the antiperspirants to maintain the homogeneity in the molten and the setting stages. The moltens are the proper what? The structure, like you have seen a bullet lipstick, right? So this would be the structure of a lipstick. So this is a molten, the shape which are given to that particular lipstick, right? There are the several things like this would be the matte one. There are the several the liquid one has a different, like, so the cushion one has a different. So every kind of a formulation has a different kind of a molten. According to that they are setting in, and to increase the high temperature integrity, to eliminate the oil migration, to reduce the creasing around lips and eyes. So basically that should have a property which would not create any kind of a crease or the cakey structure after the application. The second wood is a mascara to improve the film build, to increase the water resistance, to eliminate the oil migration. So basically, if the oil will, what happen? If the oil will migrate from that particular formulation, what will happen? That particular formulation will gonna fail. It will get dry. So definitely, it is very mandatory to just what? Mandatory to capture that particular ingredients. So you have seen your mascara and the lipstick go dry, liquid lipstick generally after the elimination of the oil migration you have seen. So these things are very important to maintain that proper formulation. So you can use easily, right? You have seen the half shelf life. So shelf life means that particular ingredients will gonna not gonna work for that particular formulation. So these are the things. The third one is the emulsion to elevate the drop point temperature of the water in oil creams, to eliminate the increase, to improve the emulsion stability, to enable the cold process emulsification, to create the novel viscosity effect. So basically emulsions you are applying on this, you are applying on your skin, so that should have a property which has a viscosity effect, but not that much lightly, so that it would not be easily absorbed in your body. So this should be the properties. The fourth one is the UV sunscreen to eliminate the ultrafine titanium dioxide skin whitening problem. Generally, you have seen the sunscreen has a problem after the application that will show the white cast. So, in order to eliminate the skin whitening effect, the certain ingredient has been added nowadays in a different kind of a sunscreen. Like there are the several sunscreen present in the market made by the different companies. Like you can take the example of a Dot and Key. Now they are making the tinted sunscreen. In that you will not see any kind of a white cast, and also they will enhance your skin appearance according to your skin color. So these are the things which has been added to the proper formulation in order to make that what? like in order to make that product success also, to enhance the sun's protection factor, to preparate the use of a sunscreen activates, to reduce the separation and the settlements. Once the application has been done on your face after the moisturizer, that should not look like a cakey. So that's why it's a very mandatory to reduce the settlement and the separation of that particular thing. It should be like soluble to that particular moisturizer what you have applied before your sunscreen. The fifth one is the antiperspirant aerosols. You have seen the aerosols means the spray one or the जितनी भी deos आती हैं, perfumes आती है, you have seen. So to uniformly distribute the ingredients to make skin feel and the soft, to reduce the separation and the settlement. In antiperspirant aerosol, not that all, not this will only include perfumes and deodorants. This will also include what? This will also includes your toners which you are applying on your face, right? So that may be possible. This will come in a form of a aerosol. So the next one factor is we have is a humectants. So basically humectants are the hydrating substance which are used in the cosmetics products to maintain the moisturizer or to just retain the moisture loss from your skin, right? So basically these things are added in the several products that maintain the barrier of your skin to just keep the nourishment or to just keep the moisture in your body. So there will be the special humectant found, that is the natural moisturizing factor, which is the NMF, which form the protein, which is formed from the protein. The protein name is a ferragin. So here the MCQ question has been made. You just see which protein is used as a humectant. So you can write the ferragin is the protein which is used as a protein in the natural moisturizing factor in a humectants. So in the ferragin, it is has been identified as the major predisposing factor for the atopia eczema. Eczema is a condition of a skin. I already teach you in the pharmacology. I think you remembered or you not remember. You just let me know in the comment section what is eczema. Okay, the water binding capacity of the salt, sodium salt of the lactic acid and the 2-propyloiodine and the 5-carboxyl acid is a higher than the glycine and the sorbitol. The humectant solutions shows the water held by the corneum disease in following order. So basically these are the things which has been added to the proper formulation to maintain the humectants, to just retain the moisture contact in the body. What are the ideal property for a humectant? It should be the high moisture absorption over a wide range of humectants. It should be have a constant moisture contact even without changing humidity. It should be non-toxic. It should have a low odor and the low color. It should have a low viscosity to make that compounding easier. It should be non-reactive and it should be a low caustic and can be readily available. Means it should be a pocket friendly. Now talking about the classification glycerin. You have seen the glycerin has been used in a various kind of a cosmetics formulation. Even though these are used to treat the mouth ulcer, right? Right or wrong, guys?
Right, ma'am.
Both.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you
Yes,
know, the
ma'am.
glycerin has a property for your glowing skin. When you are adding with that gulab gel and whenever you are applying on your face, what kind of a effect it will gonna create on your face will look like a too glowy. It will give a dewy effect to your skin. So basically glycerin are a agent which is a work as a common humectant. It is a molecule of a three OH groups. It is an odorless color liquid that can be derived from the natural sources and manufactured as a byproduct of a chemical reaction with the fats and oil. It can also be synthesized from the petroleum sources. Glycerin is also used in the Vaseline. You have seen the Vaseline has a proper jelly-like a structure because the glycerin is a known color and known odor, so that has been used as a humectant in various kind of a formulation of a cosmetics. Even though glycerin has been used in a bees lipsticks, like in the matte lipstick, most of the time the glycerin has been used. The second one is a propylene glycol. The propylene glycol, I remember one brand Brand name is a Emoylin, that make a specific formulation only for the propylene glycol that will give a proper radiant effect, even tone effect to your skin. It is a non-toxic, has a low odor, low viscosity, and the compatible with the many ingredients. And it does not absorb quite as much water as glycerin. It also does not have a stickiness problem of a glycerin and is a less expensive. Propylene glycol is similar to the glycerin and is a chemical structure of a three carbon atoms. The main difference is that it only contains two OH groups. The major disadvantage is that it is synthetically produced from the petroleum processing. But I think the glycerin is the one of the best humectants according to the propylene, because this wood is a synthesized from the petroleum processes. This is not natural. That has been derived from that particular things. The third one is a sorbitol. The sorbitol is a 6,3 sugar that has a 6 OH groups derived from the glucose and are more hygroscopic than the glycerin and does not suffer from the stickiness problem. However, it is the most expensive, which is why it is not used in the extensively as glycerin as a or a propylene glycol. The fourth one is a butylene glycol. It is a clear, low viscous liquid that works well as a humectant. It is a four carbon molecules that contain the two OH groups. It is similar to the humectants to propylene glycols and makes a good substitutes. It is also a more effective solubilizer than the glycine and the propylene glycol, because that one only contain the two carbon molecules that contain the four carbon molecules. So that's one is a more effective than the glycerin and the propylene glycol. The fifth one is a PEG. The PEG with an average molecular weight of the 200 to 2000 PEG are one of the exhibits useful humectants formulating for the higher PEG molecules weight that has a less water soluble. Now talking about the PCA, it is found naturally in the human skins. Generally, these are all other things which are added in your moisture, like which are added in your formulation to just retard the moisture contact in your body. So we will just study about the several applications. The application, generally the prime function of a humectant is to form the hydrogen bonds to just retain what moisture in your skin and the molecule of a water. Let me tell you one thing, which is the one of the most like humectant work as a humectant ingredient things, like you don't require any kind of a product. You will get shocked, like after you are taking bath now, you water is one of the best humectant that can just store all of the things, all of the moisture contact in your body. But as of now we are using the face wash and the soaps on our body that will just exhibit certain amount of what water retention from your body. So that's why you are needing in several kind of products in order to gain, in order to retard that what proper moisturizer on your skin, on your face, on your body. So humectants are considered as important ingredient for a dry and the dehydrated skin. Generally, in the winter season, you have seen a flaky skin. That is due to the like the moisture has been like eliminated from your proper skin. So this they are added due to the ability to attract water like a magnet, chemically binding water to them. So I already told you the water is one of the main ingredient. It is also a humectant. You don't require any kind of a product if you are not using a face wash or soaps or anything from the childhood onwards. But as of now, we are grown so much and we are in a habitual manner, so that definitely the certain amount of a things has been eliminated. So definitely we are requiring this kind of a things. The other one is the emollient. You know, the emollient word derived from the mollier means that the softness, the smoothness provided to your particular surface of a skin, that is due to the emollient. So emollient generally makes or improves the texture of your skin, that's make your skin soft. So it's also work as a lubricant Okay, now talking about the classification is a the first emollient is a medicated. So medicated means you are using that thing to target the specific condition that may be psoriasis or Alzheimer. I already told you, like I have asked what is Alzheimer, so here it is written. It is a long-term chronic skin condition that cause the skin become red, dry, itchy, and cracked. The psoriasis is a condition which is a known infection skin condition, but it causes red, flaky patches of our skin. Even though sometimes it will gonna like cause severe kind of injuries. You will see a small injury on your proper surface of the body. So psoriasis is of many types. The second one is the soap substitutes. Soap substitutes like a shampoo, shower gels that can remove the skin surface layer, which I already told you that will eliminate the natural oil from your body. So, in order to make the skin dry or can further aggravate long-term chronic skin conditions such as eczema or soap substitutes such as aqueous cream or emulsifying ointments can be used for hand washing, bathing, aqueous cream, and can be used as a substitute for shaving foam. Emollient bath additives. These are added for like added to the lukewarm water to help to prevent the loss of moisture from skin, and some bath oils include as antiseptic which can help prevent infection. However, this product should only be used occasionally unless the infection is recurrent or widespread. So this thing has to be used only like very for a minimum time period whenever you are see when you ever you are having a severe condition related to that, not on the regular basis. The fourth one is the emollient creams. These are the easy to spread, absorb easily in the skin, and are the good for use during the daytime. They can be used or whipping eczema. The emollient ointments, these are the most suitable for very dry skin, thick skin, and are not suitable for use of use on weeping enzyma. So application is the emollient are used in the enzyma and psoriasis. It means they are having a medicated property. That should be the medicated emollient which are used for only for the medicated purpose, like for only for the specific condition, because that will contain the API, right? So that will have the API. So in order to target that particular API with the receptor that will treat that particular thing, that will treat that particular disease. So if used from the birth, as I already told you, because we are using soaps and all these things from the childhood onward, so definitely that will just remove the natural oil from our body. So they provide a feasible, safe, and the effective approach for atopic dermatitis prevention. Like, see, the lifespan is on normal people of a 60 to 70, right? So just imagine we are using this kind of a things from the 60 to 70 years continuously. So definitely these things will gonna create impact on your body, right? So this will just retard that proper application, the proper basic natural management of your body, so that in order to gain we are using the several kind of products. No one is using the same product from the childhood onward. Like after a certain time period we are changing every time because we need to change in order to just what, in order to inhibit the co-component effect. It means in order to eliminate that effect, it will gonna show the impact on your surface. Like suppose if you're using the shampoo from the last 5 years, like after the 5 years, what you will see whether it has a certain kind of ingredients. Suppose if it is not natural, so what kind of impact you will see? You will see the split ends on many kind of a several condition, maybe hair fall, maybe the whiteness of your hair. So what you will do? Yeah, definitely you will prefer or change that particular shampoo. So these things are very important in order to achieve that proper like thing, in order to maintain the proper retirement of your natural management of your skin, whether that's hair, whether that's your skin, or whether anything which is related to your basic cosmetics or the cosmeceuticals products. Because it may be possibility that many people are suffering from the dandruff and they are having the whiteness of the graying also. So what kind of a substitute you will use? So it is also depend on the things while you are also visiting to the doctors if you are having a severe condition. Many of the people are having a itchy scalps, like all the times they are doing the itchiness on the surface of your scalp. So these things has to be prevented if you really want to like if you really change your product which is only made for the purpose as for the medicated, or whether you need to change the product in order to treat that condition. Okay. The third one is a emollient soap substitutes do not form but cleans the hands and the skin. The fourth one is the aqueous creams or emulsifying ointments are the good alternative for the hands and the bath soaps. And for the children who are at the risk of developing infected eczema, the bath hose with an antiseptic may offer protection. The emollients bath additives or the bath oils are added to bath water to help or to prevent the moisture from the skin. Now talking about the preservative, everyone knows that the preservatives are added to the specific product in order to maintain the shelf life of a product, right? So basically that will prevent from the microbial growth, and also that will maintain the shelf life of the product by several parameters. So it should be compatible with the formulation. It should have extent of a solubility. It should be stable. It should be sustainable antimicrobial effect. It should be colorful and the odorless, and it should be non-toxic and the non-irritant and the non-allergic. What are the classification? The classification are first acid derivatives, second is the alcohols, third is the aldehydes, fourth is the formal aldehyde donors, fifth one is the phenolics, sixth one is the quaternatives, seventh is the mercuries, eighth is the esters, ninth is the miscellaneous. You all have studied this kind of a parameters in your physical pharmaceutic. So I'm not going to explain all these things. You will do by your own. Now talking about the application, what are the basic applications? So generally the preservatives are added in the food stuff to maintain what the shelf life again, in order that product do not capture any kind of a microbial growth or any kind of a things which will ruin that product. Now, about in the skin or in the pharmaceutical preparation, you have seen like in the syrup, this things has been added to maintain that proper stability also. Also, you need to keep that product in a specific temperature then, because the preservative has a certain efficacy of a temperature. If the temperature is not provided to that particular product, that product has been ruined. Suppose if you are using any kind of a syrup and that does not have an amber kind of a bottle. Amber means that will not have a brown bottle. So what you will do? You will see, if you will keep it like that, you will not keep in a cold place. You will see that proper formulation, that may be suspension or immersion, that is not like able to take any kind of a sip, because that has been that has caused instability. The all the things are like separated, whether any kind of a formulation has been inserted into that particular syrup, because वो चीज पूरी खराब हो जाती है, सारे अलग अलग स्प्रेड हो जाते हैं, उसके पार्टिकल्स ही अलग अलग दिखते हैं। पूरी फॉर्मुलेशन अगर क्या उसको सही टेम्परेचर पे नहीं रखा जाता है आफ्टर एडिंग द प्रिजर्वेटिव, and the preservative also have a proper shelf life, whether they're containing the shelf life over 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. So in order to maintain that several things, we are using the preservative in every kind of a small thing which comes in a packet. जो भी पैकेट में आएगा, जो भी आपके डब्बी में आएगा, जितनी भी चीजें हैं, जितनी भी कुछ भी हो, whatever the thing is which come in a form of a packets, which come in a form of a bottle, which come in a form of anything, whether they are cosmetics, whether they are tablets, whether they are anything that retain, like that has certain amount of a preservative in that particular things. Even though you are eating in chips, that has a preservatives. So whatever the things comes in the packets that have any kind of a preservative. So here is the, your chapter has been completed. Now we have to study about the skin. So I'm going the introduction about the skin. Already you have studied about the skin in your human anatomy and physiology. So what is skin? This generally we have seen what is the largest organ of your body. Many of you will say the liver, but I think the skin is the largest organ of a body, because that will cover your whole the system. hold the system and whole it will provide a protection to your body. So generally the skin is the largest organ of a human body, and it is also called as an incumbatory system that has a surface area of a 1.8 meter and comprises of a 60% of your total body weight. The skin performs a various function, like it will protect, it will like maintain your body homeostasis. Like there are the several things which your body does. So talking about the structure of your skin is like it will has a proper 5 layer. The first one is generally the epidermis, then the second one is the sternum coccineum, sternum granulosum, sternum spongium, sternum basal. So these are the skin which has a proper layer. The first one is the epidermis. So generally your skin has a 5 layers. After that, SC, SG, SP, SB. So you will do like that. E, SC, SG, SSB. You will easy to remember. ESG, ESG, SSSB. E for epidermis, E for SE for sternum coccineum, sternum granulosum, sternum spongium, sternum basal. That will easy to remember. So you know the function of a skin, what your skin will do. So in the next class, by the tomorrow onwards, what I want, you need to learn all the thing, because this has been completed in your human anatomy class. So I'm just giving the introduction, not going in a brief, because this things has been done already. So you need to do whatever the thing is. And I just want to know about the route of administration of a drug, on which kind of angle you are giving injection to IM, IV. You just let me know by the tomorrow. I will ask a question in the class. This will be the homework for all of you. Am I clear to everyone? Guys,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
by
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Yes,
tomorrow
ma'am.
morning, I'm
Yes,
gonna take
ma'am.
the test. You will gonna answer
Yes,
me in
ma'am.
all the you will gonna answer me in the class. So here any question?
मैम नोट्स
Yes,
नोट्स अभी मैं
ma'am.
अभी जस्ट बुक शेयर कर रही हूँ तुमको 5 मिनट के अंदर.